Digital Citizenship Project, Cyberbullying and Impacts of Online Teaching. Confronting issues of number 1, bullying using social media, texting, or other electronic means. Number 2, impact of emergency online teaching, such as the pandemic, on the digital divide.
Cyberbullying. Guiding questions to consider. How does cyberbullying affect the individual being bullied? Why is cyberbullying more popular than traditional bullying? What is cyberbullying? The American Psychological Association has determined that when an individual uses a form of technology to bully someone, that is called cyberbullying. This type of bullying uses technology to degrade or cause pain to another person. It is intentional and repeated harm inflicted through the use of technology devices. Cyberbullying might include name-calling, threats, sharing private or embarrassing photos, or excluding others.
Top 10 forms of cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is a worldwide problem that's growing fast. In this video, we'll take you through the top 10 forms of cyberbullying so you have the knowledge to protect your children. 1. Exclusion. Exclusion can happen in several ways. Your child might be deliberately excluded from online activities, conversations, or social media tags. Children who don't have the latest technology, such as a mobile phone, are prone to exclusion. 2. Harassment. Harassment is sustained and intentional bullying, comprised of abusive or threatening messages sent to your child or to a group. This can severely affect a child's mental well-being. 3. Outing. Outing is the act of publicly humiliating a child or group through the online posting of private or embarrassing information without consent. Even reading your child's messages on their mobile phone out loud can be considered a form of outing. 4. Cyberstalking. Cyberstalking is a dangerous form of cyberbullying in which attackers harass victims through online communications like email or social media. It also refers to adults using the internet to contact and meet young people for abusive purposes. 5. Fraping. Fraping is when someone logs into your child's social media account and impersonates them, posting inappropriate content in their name. Remember, everything rude or otherwise posted online may never be fully gone, even if deleted. 6. Fake profiles. Fake profiles can be created by someone to hide their real identity with the intention of cyberbullying your child. The cyberbully may also use someone else's email or mobile phone to harass them. 7. Dissing. Dissing is sending or posting cruel information about your child online to damage their reputation or friendships. It also includes posting damaging photos, screenshots, or videos online. 8. Trickery. Trickery involves gaining your child's trust so that secrets can be shared publicly online. A cyberbully will befriend your child, leading them into a false sense of security before sending their private information to others. 9. Trolling. Trolling means deliberately provoking a response through the use of insults on online forums and social media sites. A troll will personally attack your child, aiming to make them angry and provoke a response. 10. Catfishing. Catfishing involves stealing online identities and recreating social networking profiles for deceptive purposes. Catfishers look at your child's profile and take information to create a fake persona. This could involve using personal information, potentially damaging your child's online reputation. Please share this video with other parents to help spread awareness and put a stop to cyberbullying.
Cyberbullying causes physical, mental, and emotional damage that leads to isolation, and in most extreme cases, suicide. This fact alone is enough to investigate the different facets of cyberbullying. Cyberbullying has been on the rise. Not only is there an increase in bullying through technology, the way bullying is implemented is changing. There is no longer the need for face-to-face altercations in order to bully someone. The rapid development and advances in technology have created many opportunities as well as challenges. Being able to monitor students' use of technology poses a challenge when it comes to cyberbullying. Another challenge is how quickly information can spread. Incidents with cyberbullying gives us opportunities to address it and understand more on how to recognize it. It provides us with the opportunity to strive towards prevention rather than detection in future students. Technology Every school has the Technology not only has the ability to spread awareness of cyberbullying, but it has the ability to prevent it. Technology provides us as teachers, parents, and students alike with the resources necessary to bring awareness and prevention to such acts. Technology integrated into school urges kids into teamwork. They engage with one another and collaborate their ideas. Technology has proven to be an asset when used correctly. An immense amount of valuable information is just a click away. Tech tools such as ebooks, web-based learning tools, and internet enhances students' ability to collaborate. Every school has the ability to effectively provide the severity of consequences pertaining to cyberbullying. Ways schools can provide information. 1. Putting it into the school's student handbook. 2. Making it policy to consistently review protocol for cyberbullying with students. And 3. Periodically giving parents and students resources that help to identify when cyberbullying is taking place.
Hi, Wellcasters. Last week, we started talking about bullies. Those grizzly bears that seem to think that they're allowed to make you feel unsafe and uncomfortable. We showed you some ways to deal with those grizzlies, from playing dead to traveling in packs. But what if the bears could follow you, worming their way through the series of wires that now make up such a huge part of our lives? Today on Wellcast, we're taking a look at cyberbullying. In many ways, cyberbullying can be much scarier than physical bullying, and much harder to escape, too. But that is okay, because your Wellcast army has returned to back you up. We're going to teach you a 4-step method for escaping the clutches of cyberbullies. Are you ready? Unsurprisingly, cyberbullying is extremely detrimental to your health. The Journal of Adolescent Health found that cyberbullying victims are more likely to become depressed than targets of traditional bullying. And cyberbullies don't really have much in the way of motives either. With bullying, there's normally an imbalance of power. But you don't need to be powerful to harass someone online. You just need the internet. According to the American Counseling Association, 40% of cyberbullies engage in online aggression just for fun. Okay, it doesn't really help to know that someone who's constantly harassing you over Facebook has no reason to do so, but you should take comfort in the fact that it does have very little to do with you and everything to do with the bully's own super weird issues. You can't fight those issues. What you can do is learn how to avoid cyberbullying when possible and extract yourself from the situation when it's too late to avoid it. It's time for our 4-step method. Pause and print this Wellcast worksheet. Step 1. Privacy is prevention. Take a second to go through any place you store data about yourself online and make sure the privacy settings are airtight. Google your name. See what comes up. Make sure your Facebook settings don't give out your email address or phone number. Step 2. When bullied, don't respond and don't retaliate. This is a ridiculously hard rule to follow because, hey, you're getting sent awful things, and the first thing you want to do is fire back. But think of it like this, though. Engaging with a bully is like pouring water on a grease fire. It seems like the obvious thing to do at the time because, holy crap, my stovetop is in flames! But water just spreads the fire, and retaliating to a cyberbully just encourages the bully because you're giving him what he wants. Step 3, block the bully if possible. What's better than ignoring a bully? Making it impossible for him to contact you, that's what. Try one of the following methods to make it harder for your bully to reach you. If you're on a messaging system, set it up so that only contacts on your buddy list can contact you. If this doesn't work, try going invisible or blocking the individual screen names that you know to be dangerous. Screen all incoming phone calls and text messages. If necessary, temporarily suspend your social media pages. Step 4, save the information and tell someone. First and foremost, report the bullying to the service provider because cyberbullying is outlawed on most sites and messenger services. Cyberbullying is also illegal in most states, though some bullies might think they can get away with a lot simply because nobody knows who they are. What they forget is that they're leaving a pretty significant electronic trail. Save any threatening correspondence, email, Facebook, phones, etc., and show it to somebody you trust. This could be a parent, teacher, or friend. To recap, if you're being cyberbullied, first, make sure your online presence is as private as possible. Don't retaliate, but block the bully from communicating with you as much as you can. And finally, save all information and tell someone you trust about the bullying. If you would like more advice on dealing with bullies, like why you should never listen to a bully in the first place, click back to our last bullying episode. Tweet us at WatchWellcast, email us at watchwellcast@gmail.com, or leave a comment down below. We'll see you next time.
Strategies for resolution. Bullying using social media, texting, or other electronic means. Bullying using social media, texting, or other electronic means. Each social media platform offers different tools that allow you to restrict who can comment on or view your post or who can connect automatically as a friend, and to report cases of bullying. Many of them involve simple steps to block, mute, or report cyberbullying. UNICEF encourages you to explore them. Social media companies also provide educational tools and guidance for children, parents, and teachers to learn about risk and ways to stay safe online. Also, the first line of defense against cyberbullying could be you. Think about where cyberbullying happens in your community and ways you can help. By raising your voice, calling out bullies, reaching out to trusted adults, or by creating awareness of the issue. Even a simple act of kindness can go a long way.
Final thought. Online learning. Guiding questions. What is guiding questions to consider? Does all online learning occur using the same method? How have teachers had to adapt to the rise in online learning? What is online learning/teaching? Online learning is any learning that occurs through the internet. Online learning is sometimes referred to as distance learning. It is education that is not completed in the traditional classroom setting. The University of Massachusetts has determined that there are two types of online learning: synchronous learning and asynchronous learning. Synchronous learning, such as a live chat, is instruction and collaboration in real time through the internet. Asynchronous learning methods, such as email and threaded discussions, use the time-delayed capabilities of the internet.
In more ways than one, education was widely impacted by the pandemic. School districts across the country were under heavy pressure to navigate the uncertainty that the pandemic brought upon education. Effective learning was dependent on consistent access to technology and internet. Another challenge was on the teacher, being equipped and able to provide adequate instruction to the students. Access to the internet proved to be a tremendous challenge, especially in rural areas. Many school systems were not equipped to effectively carry out online teaching. OLC says remote online learning is not effective and lacks quality due to teachers not being equipped to transition their in-person lessons to high-quality online learning. Online learning,
Strategies for resolution.
Online learning, when done correctly, can have several advantages. The most beneficial opportunity is the convenience of learning online. Being able to get material to students online compared to physical material saves time on preparing the material and distributing it. Leverage EDU talks about the efficiency that online learning brings to education. Teachers are able to teach their lessons through various tools such as videos, PDF files, podcasts, and several other education platforms that offer free lesson material.
Strategies for resolution. Impact of emergency.
With coronavirus cases still high across.
Impact of emergency online teaching on the digital divide. In the educational rebuilding phase in the aftermath of the pandemic, it is essential to establish an education system that embraces a whole child approach that addresses the impacts of poverty and inequality of students' capacity to learn and on teachers' abilities to do their jobs. This approach must also offer a flexible set of wraparound supports to mitigate the impacts of the inequities that are built into the system, that value education and educators, and that create viable contingency plans for future crises.
With coronavirus cases still high across the country, students, teachers, and parents have been forced to adapt to distance learning. Some students continue at-home instruction, while others, like many here in New York City, are returning to classrooms. Here to discuss education in the pandemic and its effect on students and the future of learning is Holly Kuzmich, Executive Director of the George W. Bush Institute. Thanks so much for being with us today, Holly. And I know you're a veteran of the Department of Education. You've said you're interested in what we're going to learn from these different ways students have been taught during this pandemic. How do you think this is going to affect education generally going forward?
Just the fact that we're using digital learning more, I think, will open people's eyes to the possibility of how to do more blended instruction in the future in schools. Even when we get kids back into school, how do you use digital tools going forward to do both in-person and online instruction? I also think schools are having to rethink their schedules overall. One of the things we've really learned about this is that school is not only a place for kids to go to learn the basics of reading and math and history and science, but it's also childcare for so many families, especially working families across this country. And that's a real challenge that families are facing. And schools and parents are having to think differently about schedules and how they even organize the school day. And so I think that realization will help open our eyes to some possibilities that we could rethink in terms of how we use time and digital tools in our schools to better serve students and families.
Yeah, we are learning a lot right now. I know an Associated Press and Chalkbeat survey found that Hispanic and Black students are more likely than white students to start the school online, but therein lies a huge concern about this digital divide and the long-term consequences of increasing that socioeconomic gap in student achievement. It is real and it's really being understood now. What have we learned?
Well, we've already seen some preliminary studies this summer that show that low-income kids, as we had suspected, are likely falling farther behind, and we're going to have to do more work to close the gap. We also have recently seen some studies that show that high-income kids are actually doing even better than expected. So we really have this widening gap. It means that schools and teachers really have to be smart about understanding where kids are when they start the school year. Parents have to do as much as they can to be in touch with teachers, understand where their students are, what they can be doing at home to support their students, and supplement instruction. But we also know this is going to be a multi-year process to get kids back up where they need to be. We're not going to be able to solve this in just a few weeks.
Yeah, no, that's so true. So any tips you can give parents who have their children, their students who are attending school remotely, they're doing that they're in home learning, not the in-person learning. What can you tell parents?
Well, I think really I think one of the benefits we've seen is that this is open communication between teachers and parents in a new way. And so parents should be in touch with teachers, tell them what they're seeing at home. How are their kids doing? What are they struggling with? Likewise, ask the teachers, what can I be doing to supplement and support my kids at home? And how can I be helpful to you? And really sort of do more to communicate with teachers and the principal to understand how we can get through these next few weeks and months.
Yeah, that communication more key now than ever before. Holly, thank you very much. Very important advice for parents out there. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Amy.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking.
Final thoughts. COVID-19 brought forth a unique challenge to the world of education. Schools were shutting down and resorted to the use of online education. Schools face problems such as students having internet access, teachers' ability to teach online, and effectiveness. With some time, teachers were able to use online learning to their advantage. Students were able to access materials faster, and teachers were able to use many online features to better educate their students.